I'm Kayla Rodriguez. I'm 24 years old and I live in Beaufort, Georgia, which is north of Atlanta. I'm autistic. I was diagnosed with PDD, pervasive developmental disorder, at age 3, and I think at some point it evolved into Asperger's syndrome. But because of the whole controversy surrounding the Asperger's name, I prefer to say I'm autistic. Yeah, it causes me some challenges, most of which I'm okay with. Just like I am sensitive to loud noises, I script, I stim. Like right now, I'm stimming because I'm rocking back and forth. For the most part, I accept it. It's just mainly the meltdowns, which I don't like, and the social skill challenges, which I also don't like, and the fact that I'm like self-centered, but I don't mean to be. It's just that like I just forget to think about what other people want. Not be, and some autistics have the similar problem. I believe every autistic is different, but I think some of us have similar traits. So that's what I mean by that. I did receive mental health diagnosis. I have OCD, I have PTSD, depression, anxiety. I was told I met the criteria for binge eating disorder, but I'm not officially on paper. I've been told that I might have bipolar disorder, I might have ADHD. But I was really on paper is the OCD and the PTSD and depression, anxiety. I've been to a lot of different psychiatrists over the years. I think I started going to psychiatry over 10 years ago, and it's like I've had really bad experiences with psychiatrists, to say the least. But I think it's somewhere in my records like that I have these diagnoses. It wasn't, I guess, that hard, but I think the hardest thing for me was finding the right psychiatrist, which I still haven't found. I'm actually in the process right now of getting a new psychiatrist, so that's how like bad it has been. Like I'm still trying to find a good psychiatrist for me, even after over a decade. I've been struggling on and off with like suicidal tendencies since like 2008. So like when I was 11, 12-ish, I would really change like the fact that like, I'm struggling with my mental health. I want to be better off with my mental health. Like I want to not be as suicidal as I currently am or have been in the past. I would get a well-paying job, but I wouldn't really change my autism very much. I mean, I did already mention the things I hate. The only things I really don't accept about it. For the most part, I wouldn't change anything except for those things. I want to be able to be happy and like manage my mental health better, and my physical health, and get be on good medication and work really hard in therapy, which I've been trying to, but it's just hard when my mood is so unstable. With my OCD, I have all these painful thoughts, intrusive thoughts, and I don't want to have those as much anymore. With my PTSD, I want to be able to get over being raped and everything. I just want to be happier, and like I just want to be like normal people and like actually have motivation to live and not struggle, and like I want to be able to like get through things better. I lived in 3 different states before I lived in Georgia. I lived in New York, I lived in Florida, and I lived in Virginia. And I think I received better like care from in New York than I did in Florida and Virginia. My problem with the school system is maybe because I went to so many different schools, but they didn't really give me support. Like they just expected me to like graduate high school and go to college. That's like the ultimate goal of school, right? I didn't want to go to college. My mom and dad divorced when I was 3, so I really was raised by my mom. And she did expect me to go to college, but she eventually accepted that it was too much for me, and she just wanted me to succeed and like do something I was good at. She was supportive for the most part, but she did want me to push me to try to go to college, because I guess that's like the expectation that you go to college. But I tried it. I only took 1 class, and even then it was stressful because of my OCD, and I dropped out. So she understands that college isn't for me, so she is just trying to support me like getting a job. So I wish the schools were better, like able to support me. Like I barely went to my IEP meetings. I only went until near the end of high school. And I wasn't really involved in the process. My mom had to advocate for me and like educate the teachers on autism, because when I was in third grade, my teacher actually bullied me. So then she had to educate teachers on me on autism, my teachers on autism. And so, yeah, she was my biggest advocate for me, my mom. And I think the school systems really did really poor job of supporting me. And like, there are some services that I could have used that I didn't know about. Like, I've lived in Georgia like 8 years, and I only knew about the Medicaid waivers in the state, or even what Medicaid waivers are, until like 2019, which was like over a year ago. So I wish the schools would have told me then, or like developed a plan for me after high school, that I could like get a job and like giving me more support and like learning independence and stuff like that. They could have been so much better. I'm an advocate for autistic people and people with disabilities, and like, as a self advocate, because I am autistic. But what I've learned is that most people think they're right about autism and about disability in general, and just refuse to listen to the people actually going through it. Like I just saw that Sia's like film Music just got nominated for 2 Golden Globes, and the autistic community have been saying how harmful that film is. And even I said it in an article once. It's just to show how much little they care about disabled people and autistic people. And I wish they would care more. And it's frustrating. It really is frustrating. So that's what I've learned. That society is very ableist. They refuse to listen. They refuse to care. It's not that like advocates haven't been loud enough. I just think other people just refuse to even pay attention. My last psychiatrist, he was giving me so much medication that was making me physically ill. And I kept telling him, like, you're giving me too much. I was, telling him, like, this is not working. And he gave it to me anyway. He thinks he was the expert, and that's dangerous. So, like, I recently, like, found this out recently, too, that they don't really care about what we want or what we think is right. Like, first of all, they don't listen to us. They think we're the experts, the doctors and the professionals and therapists or whatever. They're the professionals, they're the parents, they're the professionals, they're the experts of ourselves. But it's actually us. I am the expert of my own life. I'm the expert of myself, and I know what's best for me. It's not like I'm not like ignorant or anything. I know what's best for me. And if you just give me a chance and listen to me, other autistics go through the same thing. They're not listened to. And I think the life would be better off for autistic people if people would just neurotypicals, those who aren't autistic, would just listen to us, because we know what's best, and don't try to cure or prevent or fix us or treat us. We're fine just the way we are, and we know how to best support ourselves. So just listen, and then you can help. Don't assume everything for us. I also want people to know that, like, there's nothing wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with being autistic. There's nothing wrong with being disabled. And one of the things I keep seeing is like people amplify, like they try to erase the disability and just say ability, or they try to erase the disability. But there's actually nothing wrong with it. It's part of who we are, and you need to acknowledge that. And like my autism, there's nothing really wrong with it. Yeah, I have some problems with it, but I'm not going to cure other people because they have problems. Like everybody has problems, but you don't try to cure everybody. The other thing I would say was make sure you do your research, like from the right sources, just like really well-informed sources, and make sure you listen to what the community, say disability community, like make sure you look up what they say about things, and so you can be better informed of how to take care of your patients. Please do not support Autism Speaks or like any other organization that tries to prevent or cure or treat or fix autism. And especially if they have a puzzle piece in their logo, like stay away, and just really support the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, or ASAN, and the Autistic Women and Non-Binary Network, or AWN, and get your information on autism from those sources, because they are really well informed, and they really, unlike most autism organizations, they are actually the boards, and they're led and by autistic people. So yeah, that's what I would teach. And like, also don't do ABA. ABA sucks. I am I said AWN, which is the Autistic Women and Non-Binary Network. I'm actually on the board of directors. The mission is like to help empower autistic women and autistic non-binary people, including autistic women of color and autistic LGBTQIA plus people. It's a really great group, and I recommend it because a lot of the research towards autism is in boys, and a lot of focus, specifically white boys, and a lot of focus is towards boys. And girls often, autistic women get misdiagnosed or get diagnosed later, and we have to deal with masking more often. And there's specific things that autistic women deal with differently than autistic men, and also non-binary people too. They deal with differently than both autistic women and autistic men. So I'm glad that AWN puts that focus on autistic women and autistic non-binary people. I'm just happy to be a part of it.